Hi, so far we have seen how to shortlist the import markets based on the data given in trade map. In this session, we are going to see two important topics, tariff and non-tariff measures. What is tariff? Tariff means import duty faced by your product in the importing country. World Trade Organization is the prime body to oversee the global trade. There are about 164 countries in the WTO. For example, if I want to export desiccated coconut from India to US market, the same time my competitors from Philippines, Indonesia, Vietnam will also try to export the desiccated coconut to US market. US government has all the rights to impose import duty for the desiccated coconut. Most favored nation concept is that if a country is a member of WTO, it will face the same import duty as the other countries in the WTO. For example, if there is a country which is not a member of WTO tries to export your product to your target market, it might face a higher tariff or lower tariff depending upon the country. This will give you an advantage to choose the right market where the tariff level is low. Countries come together and make a trade agreements when it is based on goods exports. This can be either in free trade agreement or preferential trade agreement. Preferential trade agreement means a country will agree to reduce the import duty, but it will say it wants a period of time to make the product be imported at zero rated import duty. If you are trying to export your product to a country where there is free trade agreement with India, you have to be cautious. This means not all the products will face the zero tariff. There are three categories: open, negative, sensitive. Products that are in open category will have the zero import duty. Negative means the product will still face the MFN rate. Sensitive product means there will be a quota on importing that product. Till that quota gets filled, the product can be imported in zero rate import duty. Then it will face the normal import duty as MFN rate. Time of relaxation means a country will agree to reduce the import duty and make it nil rated over the period of time. This can be 5 years or 8 years. So we should be careful which category your product falls under when you are trying to export your product to a country which has a trade agreement with India. There are different levels of trade agreements: CICA, CIPA, CECPA and TOT. Investments that are covered under CICA agreements. CIPA covers the service exports and CECPA covers everything like goods, service and investments. TOT means Treaty of Trade. This is especially for the countries that have landlocked countries. Say for example Nepal. It doesn't have a seaport of its own. So the Nepal importers or exporters have to use the Indian seaport for their trade. So when their counterpart exporters or importers use the Indian seaport to enter into Nepal or to get the products through from Nepal, they can have only one import duty. Non-tariff barriers, that means SPS or TBT, sanitary and phytosanitary measures or technical barrier to trade. Sanitary and phytosanitary measures are important for the products that are edible. There are examples of Indian mangoes that have been rejected because of SPS measures. Also, betel leaves from India or from Bangladesh are banned to enter into UK. So these are sanitary and phytosanitary measures. We should take immense care to make sure all the specifications of the product satisfies the SPS measures. Technical barrier to trade. This means your packaging, labeling and processing details. Indian textiles were rejected in international market. They faced a huge difficulties in exports. That's because of azo dyes found in Tirupur garments. So these are technical barrier to trade. Also TBT includes the environmental regulations, child labor. So when you are in industry, you must take care that your product satisfies all the TBT measures or SPS measures. To know more about sanitary and phytosanitary measures, you can either contact the respected EPC, Export Promotion Council, or you can check it in the WTO website. To understand the technical barrier to trade, you can Google GAIN report on import regulations of your product in the import country. For example, GAIN report on import regulations of desiccated coconut powder in US. Please take immense care to read the details in the reports. This will help you to avoid loss in the exports and also to gain good export orders and regular export orders. So we have seen how tariff and non-tariff barriers influence the export of your product. In the next session, we will use some calculations to see how to know whether the import market is the right market for us. Thank you. If you have any doubts, please post it on FB, WhatsApp or LinkedIn group. Meet you in the next session.